Hey guys, it's the Judge here from Greenfire Games. Today we're going to be looking at the brand new Magic the Gathering set Eldritch Moon. This is the second set in the Shadows over Innistrad block. If you've been following our channel this week, you'll notice that we put up a lot of discussion videos about the different cards in this set. So today we're going to be opening up this box. As you can see, it is perfectly sealed. And we're going to be hoping to get a couple of the good cards in there. I know there's some Planeswalkers in here I'm excited about. I'm hoping to build out my zombie deck. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what we pulled. Alright, I'm about to break the seal. As with our other unboxing videos, we would like to tell you which number that we're going to be pulling the packs from. So when I reference a pack, we're going to be starting with this side, going from 1 through 12. This is going to be 13 through 24. This side's going to be 25 to 36, going from top to bottom. Alright, going to start with pack number 1. So we're starting off with a Tattered Haunter, Dawngriff, Otherworldly Outburst, Brazen Wolves, Cemetery Recruitment, Crossroads Consecrator, I don't know how to say this one upside down. Terrarian, Displace, Falconwrath Reaver. And we're on to our uncommons for pack number 1. We have Nebelgist Herald, Slayer's Cleaver, Murder, and our first rare of this box is Collective Brutality. And as you see, we're getting the flip cards again in this set as an additional card after the rare. Our first one is an uncommon called Tangleclaw Werewolf. And it turns into Fibrous Entangler. And we get all new the checklist cards too. And lastly is just a advertisement. So that's pack number 1.
On pack number 2.
We have Sigardian Priest, Cultist Staff, Galvanic Bombardment, Weirded Vampire, one of my favorite named cards in this set, It of the Horrid Swarm, Terrarian, our first repeat common, Bold Emplacer, Guardian of Pilgrims. This is Enlightened Maniac. Onto our uncommons again. Mockery of Nature, Murder, Foul Emissary, and our second rare is Splendid Reclamation. This is the one card I referenced in our discussion video that would go really good with Gitrog, because it gets all the lands you sacrificed back into play, so you can keep sacrificing, keep that monster out there. That's a good second pull. Then we have our Grizzled Angler, who turns into a Grizzly Anglerfish. That's a pretty cool transformation. Then we have our checklist and a zombie token. That's pack number 2. Pack number 3 is going to start with our Desperate Sentry. Ingenious Scab. There's that Weirded Vampire again. Primal Druid. Skursdag's Supplicant. Spectral Reserves, Turn Aside, Alchemist's Greeting, Nephalia Academy, Markov Crusader. This is a Morn Willow. And our next rare is a Gaia Reach Sanitarium. So it's one of the 3 special rare lands in this set. Then our next card is a Midnight Scavengers. And they turn into... Oh, that's our first half card right there. So we don't know what the second half is just yet. But this is what it looks like when they use the meld ability. So I'm excited to see if we get the second half to this card. As you see, this is only a common. So we should be able to... Hopefully we should be able to pull this card in the set. And then I know you saw it before. We have a foil in this set, in this pack. We have a foil Midnight Scavenger. So we have a foil version of that same card in this pack. That is pretty neat. And then a mountain and a spider token. That is pack number 3. Starting with pack number 4, we got Prey Upon, Cultist Staff, Olivia's Dragoon, Swift Spinner, Bold Impaler, Guardian of Pilgrims, Displace, Terrarian. We're getting a lot of Terrarians in this set. Peace of Mind, Gnarlwood Dryad. This is one of the cards that I think is going to be really, really good in draft because it's a 1-drop for 1/1 that has Death Touch. And if you have that Delirium, it's a 3/3 Death Touch for 1 mana. So this is a card to look out for. Incendiary Flow. And our 4th rare is Dark Salvation. And then we have Curious Homunculus. I really like the art on this one. I'm gonna pull that one up a little closer. You can take a look at that. I really like the giant eyeball looking through books. And he turns into a Ferocious Reaper. So as he still has his eyeball, but he's going a little crazy on the books now. What? Oh, Reader. Sorry, I read that upside down, so I apologize on that one. And we got a second foil, Tattered Haunter. Our checklist card. And another zombie token. That is pack number 4. So we've yet to see a mythic out of this box, and we're on to our 5th pack. So hopefully we'll see one of those new planeswalkers in here. I'm hoping for a Liliana myself, but I'll be happy with the Tamiya. So pack number 5 starts with an Ingenious Scab, Succumb to Temptation, Woodcutter's Grit, Ironclad Slayer, Turn Aside, Alchemist's Greeting, Field Creeper. That's another one that has some really neat art. I'm happy to see that they're bringing the Scarecrows back, because that was a deck I tried to make a long time ago, but there weren't enough Scarecrows to make an effective one. So I'm glad to see there's more options there. I might have to revisit that deck. Spectral Reserves, Geist of the Lonely Vigil, Scour the Laboratory, Hamlet Captain, our very first Hammy Cap. So this is one of those uncommons that you're going to have to be looking out for too, because this is one that I talk about in our discussion video for green. This is a great card to give boost to your other humans, which there are a lot of in this set. So happy to see that I got at least one of them so far. And our rare is Stromkirk Occultist. Kessig Prowler. This is another one I talk about in our green video. That's really good in draft. It's a 1-drop. That's a 2/1, so you're getting more power for the mana than what you're paying for it. So that's another really good one. Ooh, I like what I just saw there, but I'm going to talk about this card first. Sinuous Predator. If you pay the 5, it can turn into this. You don't necessarily need to, but it is a great boost. So I'm going to go back to what we had before. What we just caught a glimpse at. We have a foil rare. Eldritch Evolution. That is one of the bigger cards in this set, and I'm really happy to see a foil version of that in here. So that is really, really cool. Then we have our checklist and a spirit token. That is pack number 5. Pack number 6 is going to start with a Prey Upon. Olivia's Dragoon. Crossroads Consecrator. That is Gavany Unhallowed. Turnaside. Alchemist's Greeting. Another Field Creeper. Spectral Reserves. Laboratory Brute. Nebelgast Herald. Drogskull Shield Mage, or Shield Mate. Mercurial Geists. That is a hard one to say for me. And our next rare is an Eldritch Evolution. So now we have a foil version and a regular version. Really happy with how this box is turning out so far. Then we have our Shrill Howler, who turns into the Howling Chorus. That's kind of neat. I really like a lot of the way that Emrakul is. What's the word I'm looking for? Infects a lot of the creatures. And just makes them look really gnarly, and I love the names that they're giving them. Then we have a Plains and an Insect token. It's pack number 6. Here's pack number 7. We're starting with Boon of Emrakul. Take Inventory. Tattered Haunter. Wailing Ghoul. Grapple with the Past. This is another one that I really liked the art on. Because before, I just kind of breezed over it. But when you actually take a look at it, it's a little girl with tentacles getting her teddy bear out of a well. It's just another one of those kind of creepy art that they're throwing in for this block. And I really like that. This is Stensia Innkeeper. Spectral Reserves. Seen a lot of those in here. We got another Turnaside. Alchemist's Greeting. Shreds of Sanity. Haunted Dead. Chilling Grasp. And our rare is a Mausoleum Wanderer. Then we have a Cryptolith Fragment that turns into Auroras of Emrakul. Then we have our checklist and an Eldrazi Horror token. That is pack number 6. Oh, sorry, looks like that was pack number 7. My apologies. We're going on to pack number 8 right now. We have a Dawngryff, Otherworldly Outburst, Brazen Wolves, Thraben Foulbloods, Wolfkin Bond, Steadfast Cathar, Spontaneous Mutation, Terrarian, Repel the Abominable, Shreds of Sanity, Clear Shots, and our rare for pack number 8 is Wharf Infiltrator. Then we have another Curious Homunculus, which we know turns into, oh, I like what I just saw there too. But I'm just gonna show you again the Ferocious Reader. And we have our first mythic in this set. Ulrich of the, what is that? Kralin Horde. So that is our first mythic. He is a flip mythic. And he can turn into Ulrich, Unconstable. Sorry, am I reading that right? Let me turn this over. Uncontested Alpha. Then we have a Swamp and a Devil token. So this is another one of those sets where we're probably gonna have more than four mythics per box because of the flip mythic. So that one doesn't necessarily count towards our total like in Shadows of Innistrad. So there's probably still at least 4 more mythics in this set, in this box. So we're on to pack number, let me just recount that. I believe we're on pack number 9. Yes, we are. We have Choking Restraints. Spring Sage Ritual. Boon of Emrakul. Tattered Haunter. Swift Spinner. Cemetery Recruitment. Stensia Banquet. Guardian of Pilgrims. Convolutes. Geist-Fueled Scarecrow. Fortune's Favor. Drownyard Behemoth. And our rare for pack number 9 is a Collective Effort. This is one of the cards that uses the new Escalate ability. This is one of the ones that I like that uses the Escalate because it gives you pretty decent abilities for only 3 mana, and plus to pay for the Escalate, all you have to do is tap an untapped creature you control. So if you're running white, there's a good chance you'll have a lot of tokens that you can tap for this. So it's very easy to get white creatures to tap to get the additional abilities on this card. Then we have a Graph Rats, which turns into, this is the top half of Chittering Host. So that is our technically 3rd meld card. One was the foil, remember? So it's out of the 9 packs that we have so far, I'm not really seeing a lot of the dual cards here. So I hope they're a little bit more plentiful than what we're seeing. Hopefully we can see a lot more in the other packs. Then we have our checklist and a zombie token. That's pack number 9. Here is pack number 11, starting off with a Strange Augmentation. Backwoods Survivalists. Sigardian Priest. Borrowed Malevolence. Wolfkin Bond. Spectral Reserves. Laboratory Brute. Prophetic Ravagings. Lunarch Mantle. Blessed Alliance. Advanced Stitchwing, Gnarlwood Dryad. That's my second one. I'm glad to see that. And a rare for pack number 10 is a Sacrificer of Souls. Then we have an Ulvenwald Captive, which turns into an Ulvenwald Abomination. We have our checklist and a Spirit Token. That is pack number 10. Alright, pack number 11 is going to start out with a Desperate Sentry, Ingenious Scab, Spring Sage Ritual, Crossroads Consecrator, Gavany Unhallowed, Falconwrath Reaver, Ironright's Cleansing, Spontaneous Mutation, Rise from the Grave, Give No Ground, Murder, and a rare for pack number 11 is an Identity Thief. This is one of the few blue creatures in this set that I think is going to see a lot of play. Because of the potential of removing a creature from the board and then being able to bring them back into the battlefield, kind of like the Blink ability, will get us a lot of use out of some of the recent abilities that we've seen for as creatures enter the battlefield. So that's a really neat one. Then we have a Vilden Pack Outcast. Turns into a Drone Pack Kindred. Then I saw a foil. Let's see what we got. Just a Bold Impaler, but it's still cool to get a foil common. That's always always a bonus to get that foil. Then we have a Forest and a Human Soldier token. That is pack number 11. Pack number 12 starts with a Cultist's Staff, Galvanic Bombardment, Wretched Griff, It of the Horrid Swarm, Borrowed Malevolence, Laboratory Brute, Prophetic Ravagings, Lunarch Mantle, Fogwalker, Mockery of Nature, Vampire, what does that say? Vampire Cutthroats, Dragskull Shieldmates, and our rare for pack number 12 is an Oath of Liliana. So out of the first row, because this is the last pack of the first row, the only mythic we saw was that Ulrich, and that was a flip mythic. So I'm surprised we didn't get any other ones out of this row. Then we have a Shrill Howler. Turns into a Howling Chorus. Our checklist card. And a Spirit Token. That is pack number 12 and the end of the first row. Now we're going to be going on to pack number 13, which is the top of the middle row. We have a Borrowed Grace, Waxing Moon, Brazen Wolves, Drag Under, Weirded Vampire, Field Creeper, Steadfast Cathar, Spontaneous Mutation, Whispers of Emrakul, Fury Blade Vampire, Vampire Cutthroat, and our first rare for the second row in pack 13 is, there is our first actual mythic. We have a Mirrorwing Dragon. Then we have a Midnight Scavengers. Oh, this is exciting because this is the second half to the Graph Rat card. So we have one complete melding card. So that is really exciting. We have a Foil Mountain, a Regular Forest, and an Eldrazi Horror. That's pack number 13. Pack number 14. We have Spring Sage Ritual, Galvanic Bombardment, Choking Restraints, It of the Horrid Swarm, Succumb to Temptation, Enlightened Maniac, Field Creeper, Steadfast Cathar, Spontaneous Mutation, Long Road Home, Crop Sigil, Drownyard Behemoth, and a rare for pack number 14 is a Spell Queller. This is another one of the good ones from this set. I know I highlighted this in, I believe it was video 6 of our discussion, about how useful this is. Because what it does is, when Spell Queller enters the battlefield, exile target spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. When Spell Queller leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner may cast that card without playing its mana cost. So, since it has Flash and Flying, it kind of acts as a counterspell in addition to being a creature. So that's why this card has extra utility on it. It's not just a creature with an ability. It acts as several different types of cards. So that's a good one to pull. Then we have an Extractor of Sin, which turns into Extractor of Flesh. Then our checklist, and a zombie token. That is pack number 14. Alright, pack number 14. We have a Desperate Sentry, Distemper of the Blood, Gavany Unhallowed, Bloodbriar, Borrowed Malevolence, Borrowed Hostility, Cathar's Shield, Lunarch Mantle, Fogwalker, Lunar Force, Courageous Outrider, Vexing Scuttler. And our rare for pack 15 is a Coax from the Blind Eternities. This is another one of the cards that I was excited for when they did their early release. Because this lets you, let me bring it up a little closer. This lets you grab any Eldrazi from outside of the game and put it into your hand. As long as it's an Eldrazi that you own, it can go in your hand. That is an incredibly powerful card, especially for drafting or for EDH, because you're getting those additional cards in your deck that you might not have the room for. So this takes the place of one of many cards. So it's a really good one. Then we have a Graph Rat, which, as we know, turns into our Chittering Host. Then we have our checklist and an Eldrazi Horror. That is pack number, I believe,
14?
That was pack number 15, actually. My apologies. Now we're on to pack number 16. It's really early in the morning, and I'm kind of losing count of packs, so I apologize about that in advance. So we're going to start with pack number 16. We have a Spring Sage Ritual, Galvanic Bombardment, Wailing Ghoul, Grapple with the Past, Make Mischief, Iron Rites Cleansing, Displace, Falconwrath Reaver, Savage Alliance, Noose Constrictor, Geist of the Archives, and our rare for pack number 16 is Sigarda's Aid. This one is a really good card with what's recently been released. So for 1 mana, all of your auras and equipment gain flash. And whenever an equipment enters the battlefield, you get to attach it for free. So remember that Cathar's Shield we had earlier? That was a 0-cost equipment. So it's free to play, and it gives +0/+3 to any one of your creatures. And it's just a very powerful card, depending on how it's used, and it's very easy to abuse this. So it's a really good. I expect to see this one a lot too. Then we have our Vilden Pack Outcast, and a Drone Pack Kindred. And I saw a rare underneath this. Let's take a look at that. Oh, we have Bruna, the Fading Light. She is one of the 2 halves of Brisella, the new Eldrazi Angel. The one that's going to be doing really well is the pair card Gisela, but I'm glad we have at least one of them just in case we do get that mythic. So we're on our way to getting one of the most powerful creatures in this set. And you see it flips and turns into the bottom half of her. Then we have a Swamp and a Zombie token. That's pack number 16. Pack number 17 starts with a Take Inventory, Desperate Sentry, Ingenious Scab, Woodland Patrol, Succumb to Temptation, Stensia Banquet, Iron Rites Cleansing, Displace, Graph Harvest, Crop Sigil, Advanced Stitchwing, and a rare for pack number 17 is... Ooh, we got our second mythic. Technically third if you count Ulrich. We have Nahiri's Wrath. This is one of the new red spells that's going to be... that has the potential to do a lot of damage depending on what you discard. Because it can affect up to X creatures or planeswalkers depending on how many cards you discard. And it does the combined mana cost of all the cards you discard damage to each of those. So this could potentially be a planeswalker board wipe. So that's why I really like this one. Happy to get this one for my burn deck. Then we have an Ulvenwald Captive. It turns into an Ulvenwald Abomination. Then we have our Foil Crop Sigil, our Checklist, and a Wolf Token. That is pack number 17. Pack number 18 is going to start with a Prey Upon. Then we have a Waxing Moon, Wailing Ghoul, Bloodbriar, Thermo Alchemist, Fiendbinder, Cathar's Shield, Fogwalker, Stensia Innkeeper, Whispers of Emrakul, Lashweed Lurker, Spreading Flames, and our rare for pack number 18 is A Thalia, Heretic Cathar. This is one of the best legendary creatures in this set. Because for 3 mana, you get a 3/2 first strike, but the real gravy is in that ability. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponent control enter the battlefield tapped. So you don't have to pay any extra mana for that. They just come in tapped and stall your opponent, so it puts you a turn ahead basically. So this is one of the best soldiers in this set. Then we have a Lone Rider. This turns into It That Rides Is One. Our checklist and a human soldier token.
Pack number 18.
Pack number 19 starts with a Prey Upon, Waxing Moon, Borrowed Grace, it is Skursdag's Supplicant, Crossroads Consecrator, Thermo Alchemist, Fiend Binder, Contingency Plan, Stensia Innkeeper, Graph Harvest, Peace of Mind, Vexing Scuttler, and a rare for pack number 19 is a Stromkirk Condemned. Then we have a Grizzled Angler, which I think this is the one that turns into that really neat anglerfish. Yep, Grizzly Anglerfish. I really like that transformation. That just seems kind of brutal. Then our checklist and a zombie token. It's pack number 19. Pack 20 starts with a Cultist Staff, Dawn Griff, Brazen Wolves, Primal Druid, Thrabin Foulbloods, Fiend Binder, Contingency Plan, Stensia Innkeeper, Ironclad Slayer, Thirsting Axe, Blessed Alliance, I can't read that one upside down. It is Subjugator Angel. Then our rare for pack number 20 is a Thalia's Lancers. We just had the Thalia the pack before. So having them back-to-back packs is kind of exciting since they play so well together. Because when you attack, when Thalia's Lancers enters the battlefield, you can search your library for a legendary card. Which, that's what Thalia is. So this card helps you get Thalia into the battlefield quicker. So it's a very good combo to have back-to-back packs. Then we have Conduit of Storms, which turns into Conduit of Emrakul. A checklist and an insect token. That's pack number 20. Pack 21 starts with a Cultist Staff, Galvanic Bombardment, Wretched Griff, Distemper of the Blood, Skursdag Supplicant, Grapple with the Past, Steadfast Cathar, Convolute, Make Mischief, Haunted Dead, Campaign of Vengeance, Abundant Maw, and our rare for pack number 21 is a Heron's Grace Captain, another really good human. So based off the rares we're getting on the past couple packs, we have the makings of a really good human deck started. So this is another human that has flash, But when Hiran's Grace Champion enters the battlefield, other humans you control get +1/+1 and gain lifelink until end of turn. So you can block with all of your humans, then flash this card in to give all of your humans the defense buff, the power buff, and lifelink. So you're going to be gaining a lot of health, much to your opponent's dismay. Then we have our Vidalin Pack Occultists, which turns into our Drone Pack Kindred, an Island, and an Eldrazi Horror. There's pack number 21. Here's pack number 22. We got Galvanic Bombardment, Choking Restraints, Strange Augmentation, Woodland Portal, Succumb to Temptation, Thermo Alchemist, Fiendbinder, Cathar's Shield, Fogwalker, Ruthless Disposal, Blood Mist, Markov Crusader, and then our rare for pack number 22 is our third mythic, Deploy the Gatewatch. This one's really cool because what it does is let's read the card. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to 2 Planeswalker cards from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this card, for 6 mana, could possibly give you 2 free Planeswalkers. So that could be devastating, depending on if you get the right cards in that top 7. Then we have our Extractor of Sin, which turns into our Extractor of Flesh. That's one of my favorite transformations too. Then a checklist card, and another just advertisements. So that is pack number 22. Pack number 23, starting off with a Distemper of the Blood, Choking Restraints, Woodcutter's Grit, Certain Death, Swift Spinner, Ironright's Cleansing, Enlightened Maniac, Bold Impaler, Ruthless Disposal, Dusk Feaster, Crop Sigil. Then we have our rare for pack number 23 is a Selfless Spirit. There's our Graph Rats again. And those turns into the Chittering Host. But I saw another flip rare underneath here. The Hanwer Garrison. This is my personal favorites for the meld cards, because these are the people within the town. If you also have the town itself, it turns into a, you can't see it here, it's on the other one, sorry about that, but it turns into a giant writhing town. So the people basically turn into the town, a bunch of tentacles and oozes, and it creates Eldrazi. So that's just one of my favorite transformations, just concept-wise. It was also a pretty good red rare. For 3 mana, you get a 2/3 human soldier. Then whenever they attack, you get 2 1/1 red human creatures also attacking. So you're getting additional creatures every turn this card attacks. So that could be really, really useful in almost any format. Then we have our checklist and a Human Wizard token. It's pack number 23. Pack number 24 is starting off with a Galvanic Bombardment. This is also the last pack in the middle row. And we've seen actually almost all of our mythics have been in the middle row. So it's kind of surprising to me. I don't know if that's the general trend, but I think I might go that route if I'm looking for, if I'm looking to possibly pull some new mythics. Not quite sure. We still have a whole nother row to go through, so we'll see if that nets us any other really good cards. But let's see what we got in the last of pack number 24. So we got Galvanic Bombardment, Strange Augmentation, Sigardian Priest, Weirded Vampire, It of the Horrid Swarm, Borrowed Malevolence, Bold Impaler, Steadfast Cathar, Enlightened Maniac, Nephalia Academy, Geist of the Archives, Noose Constrictor, and our last rare for the middle row is a Spirit of the Hunt. Then we have an Ulvenwald Captive, which turns into our Ulvenwald Abomination. I believe that is our third one so far. A Mountain and an Insect token. So that is the last of the middle row in pack number 24. Alright, pack number 25 starts with a Drag Under. Then we have Olivia's Dragoon, Desperate Sentry, Gavany Unhallowed, Woodland Patrol, Stensia Banquet, Guardian of Pilgrims, Convolute, Fury Blade Vampire. Oh, that's a long one. Hold on one second. That is Unsubstantiates, Foul Emissary, and our first rare of the third row is a Providence. Then we got our Graph Rats again. Turn it. Oh, there it is. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna delay the suspense. We got another Chittering Host. Look at it. Yeah, I don't even care what's underneath here. We got another Chittering Host. I'm kidding. We have our Gisela of the Broken Blade. So we have both pairs to make Brisella, Voice of Nightmares. Alright, so I'm going to go back over to what this card actually does. So for 4 mana, you get Flying, First Strike, Lifelink. And it's a 4/3. If you happen to own both Gisela and Bruna on the battlefield at the end of your turn, for free, you can meld them together to get Brisella, Voice of Nightmares. The 9/10 Flying, Lifelink, Vigilance, and probably one other thing I can't remember off the top of my head for free. So that is really, really awesome. So that just made this row. Then we have a checklist. And, we have a Tamio emblem. That's the first emblem we've pulled so far. So that is the end of pack number 25. Alright, 26 starts with a Wretched Griff, Galvanic Bombardment, Strange Augmentation, Wolfkin Bond, Make Mischief, Faithbearer Paladin, Convolute, Falconwrath Reaver, Nephalia Academy, Lashweed Lurker, Spreading Flames, and our rare for pack number 26 is that is a long one too, a Distended Mindbender. It's one of the new Eldrazi that has the Emerge ability. It's a really neat ability if you can take good use of it. All you have to do is discard a card, pay that mana cost minus the converted mana cost, and you get a relatively large creature for super cheap. So that's a really, really cool thing to have for a lot of the Eldrazi's. Because a lot of people are intimidated by the large cost for the Eldrazi's. This makes it slightly cheaper to get out there. So I'm glad they added that for more people to get use out of the Eldrazi's. Then we have a Conduit of Storms. Turns into a Conduit of Emrakul. Then a Foil Certain Death. a forest, and an Eldrazi horror token. Now, I'm sure you've noticed I've been going a little bit quicker through some of the commons because we're seeing a lot of repeats. So I'm going to continue that trend a little bit just so we can get to the rare a little quicker, because we haven't seen a lot of the rares in this set yet. So I'm going to try to get there a little bit faster just so we have more new cards to look at. We're on to pack number 27. '27 starts with a Choking Restraints, Strange Augmentation, Weirded Vampire, It of the Horrid Swarm, Certain Death, Laboratory Brute, Prophetic Ravagings, Lunarch Mantle, Exalted Cultist, Rise from the Grave, Weaver of Lightning, Subjugator Angel, and our rare for pack 27 is a Newsgraph Mob. That's a fun one to set. Then we have our Ulvenwald Captive, turns into our Ulvenwald Abomination, Checklist, and a Human Wizard token. That is pack number 27. So here's 28. We got Strange Augmentation, Backwoods Survivalists, Woodcutter's Grit, Wailing Ghoul, Grapple with the Past, Prophetic Ravagings, Lunarch Mantle. We got our Exultant Cultist, Borrowed Hostility, Abandoned Reason, Abundant Maw, Clear Shot, and our rare for number 28 is an Emrakul, the lady herself that this set is based around. So this has actually been a pretty good box so far. This is our 6th mythic. I don't think we're going to get another one out of here, so that's kind of sad to see no Planeswalkers yet. But you never know with some of the foils. But at this rate, it's looking a little unlikely we're going to get Artamia or Liliana. But we got some pretty good mythics already. Then we have our Smoldering Werewolf, which turns into Erupting Dreadwolf. That just sounds terrifying. Our Checklist, and another one of the advertisements. So that's pack number 29, or 28, I believe. Yeah, that was pack number 28. We got Borrowed Grace, Drag Under, Olivia's Dragoon, Borrowed Malevolence, Woodland Patrol, Iron Rites Cleansing, Spontaneous Mutation, Stencia Banquet, Faithbearer Paladin, Lunar Force, Faith Unbroken, Liliana's Elite, and our rare for pack number 29 is Collective Defiance. It's another one of those rares that has the Escalate. This is also one of the cards that I believe I highlight in our red discussion video. So if you want to hear more about this card, go ahead and check that video out. Then we have our Graph Rat, which turns into Chittering Host, an Island, and an Eldrazi Horror token. That is pack number 29. Pack number 30. Otherworldly Outburst, Dawngryph, It of the Horrid Swarm, Certain Death, Ironclad Slayer, Laboratory Brutes, Prophetic Ravagings. Oh, that's one we haven't seen before. That is Thraben Standard Bearer. I'll leave that one a little bit so you can take a look at that quick. Exultant Cultist, Slayer's Cleaver. That is Insatiable Gorgers, Dusk Feaster, and a rare for pack number 30 is A Bedlam Reveler. This is another one that we talk about in our discussion video for red. So that gives you a second card to look for in that red video. So go ahead and check that out. Then a Vilden Pack Occultist, which turns into our Drone Pack Kindred, our checklist, and an Eldrazi Horror token. That is pack number 30. Number 31, starting with a Waxing Moon. Drag Under, Borrowed Grace, Otherworldly Outburst, Wolfkin Bond, Stursdag Supplicant, Make Mischief, Faithbearer Paladin, Spontaneous Mutation, Emrakul's Influence, Repel the Abominable, Somberweld Stag, and our rare for pack number 31 is a Niblis of Frost. Then we have an Ulvenwald Captive, which turns into our Ulvenwald Abomination. Went a little bit quick on that one. Our Mountain, and a Human token. That is pack number 31. Pack number 32, we got a Choking Restraints, Boon of Emrakul, Spring Sage Ritual, Thraben Foulbloods, Primal Druid, Exultant Cultist, Borrowed Hostility, Thraben Standard Bearer, Contingency Plan, Fortune's Favor, Geist Fueled Scarecrow, Courageous Outburst, and our rare for pack number 32 is a Summary Dismissal. This is one of my favorite blue cards in this set. I talk a lot about that in our blue discussion, but what I really particularly like about this one is that it pretty much annihilates the stack because it exiles all other spells and counters all abilities. So outside of split second abilities, this just ends the stack. So that's why I really like this. Then we have our Midnight Scavengers, which turns into the bottom half of the Chittering Host, I believe, if I remember correctly. Our checklist, and a Spirit token. That is pack number 32. Pack number 36 starts with a Backwoods Survivalist, Wretched Griff, Distemper of the Blood. This is Sigardian Priest, Woodcutter's Grit, Stencia Banquet, Faithbearer Paladin, Enlightened Maniac, Prying Questions. That's the first one of those that we've gotten. A Campaign of Vengeance, another Hamlet Captain. Then our rare for pack number 33 is a Crypt Breaker. Another really good card to bring in some more zombies. Then a Smoldering Werewolf, which turns into our Erupting Dreadwolf. Then we have a Foil Spring Sage Ritual, a checklist, and a Human Soldier token. That is pack number 33. Pack number 34 starts with a Boon of Emrakul, Spring Sage Ritual, Tattered Haunter, Cemetery Recruitment, Primal Druid, Borrowed Hostility, Cathar's Shield, Thraben Standard Bearer, Exultant Cultist. Starting here, we got our Abandoned Research, Emrakul's Influence. This is Incendiary Flow, and our rare for pack number 34 is a Stitched Graph. Then we have our Midnight Scavengers, which again turns into the bottom half of Chittering Host, a Plains, and a Spider token. That is pack number 34. Pack number 35 starts with a Backwoods Survivalist 2, We got to take inventory. Ingenious Scab. Woodcutter's Grit. Certain Death. Cathar's Shield. Thrabid Standard Bearer. Exultant Cultist. Thermo Alchemist. Long Road Home. Deranged Whelp. A Morn Willow. And our rare for pack number 35 is... Oh, we have a Tameo! That is our 7th mythic for this box.
Tameo!
That is surprising, to say the least. This is going to be one of the biggest cards in Standard, because if you have the right situation, you can play any card in your hand for free. So that is... I got goosebumps, because I was not expecting to get that. That is awesome. Then we have a Kessig Prowler, which turns into our our Sinuous Predator, our Checklist, and our Eldrazi Horror Token. That is pack number 35. And we are on to our last pack, pack number 36. I don't know what to expect out of this pack, because that Tameo kind of threw me off a little bit. So we have our Take Inventory, Desperate Sentry, Ingenious Scab, Swift Spinner, Gavany Unhallowed, Bloodbriar, Guardian of Pilgrims, Enlightened Maniac, Falconwrath Reaver, Long Road Home, Mercurial Geists, got it out the first time that time, Insatiable Gorgers, and our final rare, maybe mythic, is Assembled Alphas. It's another good wolf card. Then we have Tangleclaw Werewolf. Which turns into our Fibrous Entangler, our Checklist, and our final token, because I know that's what you all really care about, is an Eldrazi Horror. And that is the last pack in this box. All in all, this is a very successful box. We were able to get around 150 for only the cards you see here. So that's not including all the uncommons, commons, and other foils that we got. So this is very exciting. One of the best ones that I've opened recently. Very happy to have both complete set of that. And we have a playset of Chittering Hosts. So that is another thing. It's wasn't expecting to get a full playset, but still in my heart, I love it.
I personally can't wait to play Tameo. There she is.
She's right there.
Oh man. Oh, and we could use our Jaces. We can make our Blues Clues deck. Oh, so exciting.
Alright, and that was the entire box. Thank you for watching our unboxing video of Eldritch Moon. As always, I am the Judge from Greenfire Games. Make sure that you check out our in-depth discussion videos. You can find the links for those below. If you liked what you saw, make sure that you like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out our Patreon campaign.